Among the launch titles for the Game Boy Advance in Japan was KONAMI Racing Advance, known in the West as KONAMI KRAZY RACERS. Its early release allowed Konami to outpace Mario Kart Super Circuit, scheduled for 4 months later. As the name suggests, the game taps into the world and characters of the famous publisher, drawing from titles such as Castlevania, Metal Gear, Gradius, and Twinbee. It was only recently that I got my hands on this seemingly marginal title. But is it? After creating a profile, players are greeted with a main menu featuring numerous modes, with the primary one being the race mode, comprised of a championship, time attack, free race, versus, and minigame. For a launch title, KONAMI KRAZY RACERS holds its own in technical achievement. In fact, it still stands out today as an attractive game, boasting colorful and detailed graphics, fully leveraging the Mode 7 technology. There's a delightful cartoonish vibe that aligns well with Konami's various franchises. What do Castlevania and Twinbee have in common? Nothing, yet it works wonderfully. While the animation in KONAMI KRAZY RACERS sometimes falters, especially when competitors cluster around you, it's generally robust, offering exhilarating speed and advanced championships. The race dynamics are amplified by the many boosts scattered throughout the tracks. Attention to detail is evident in how characters move and respond to their rivals. What an atmosphere! The music is clearly one of KRAZY RACER's strong points. Reworking tracks is always a tricky task, especially with a parody tone. Konami nailed it by delivering catchy and melodic themes that resonate with the original licenses and the game's nostalgic vibe. Sound effects are less striking, but they do their job. The inclusion of various zany digital voices is A+. Unsurprisingly, KRAZY RACERS shares many features with Super Mario Kart. Besides the accelerate and brake buttons, there's a jump button, helping you dodge obstacles and drift. Familiar items, represented here as bells, grant access to the usual missiles, boosts, invincibilities, bombs, etc. The controls, sharp and accurate, felt more accessible to me than those in Mario Kart Super Circuit. Unlike the latter, the impeccable vehicle handling discourages skidding, making driving simpler but less technical over the long haul. Letting off the accelerator often proves more beneficial than executing drifts, as their trajectories feel too broad. Another genre hallmark, the characters. 14 in total, each with their strengths and weaknesses. However, these distinctions aren't always apparent. Regardless, the game strikes a good balance in terms of difficulty, focusing more on your driving skill than luck. Most of the items aren't overly punishing, although you'll find typical pitfalls like holes, lava eruptions, and lightning in some stages. The 16 tracks are generally well designed, offering diverse routes. I appreciated their varying lengths, from 40 seconds to 1 minute per lap, and the abundance of boosts and jumps. They're somewhat less technical than those in Mario Kart Super Circuit. Roads are often broad, and turns lack complexity. However, the addition of traps adds a nice touch of challenge. There's no doubt you'll have a good time with KRAZY RACERS. But for how long? The game's novelty lies in 2 areas. Firstly, the need to pass a series of driving tests, such as time attacks or duels, to unlock new championships. While the B and A licenses are relatively easy, the S license will be challenging. Secondly, there's an option to collect off-track coins to use as currency in a shop where you can purchase race items. This feature quickly feels superfluous. The inclusion of 2 mini-games is a bonus. In Chicken, you must halt your kart as close to the edge as possible without falling off. In Bomb Chaser, you must pass the hot potato, or a bomb, in this case, to opponents before it detonates. As fun as they are, these mini-games won't stave off boredom for long. Honestly, once completed, there's little incentive to revisit KRAZY RACERS, except maybe to improve time attack scores. But it's a blast while it lasts. KONAMI KRAZY RACERS is a delightful game that stands its ground. The joy of encountering Konami's iconic characters is undeniable, as is the fun derived from the races. Its main flaw is a lack of originality and the inevitable comparison to Mario Kart Super Circuit. If you're seeking a solid karting game on the GBA and have already explored Nintendo's title, KRAZY RACERS is worth the ride.